Okay. Yep, we're live. Excellent. So, I'm going to prefix this with, I'm pretty tired. I've spent the last 3 days at the Model Club helping out with all the Easter type events, and I was like, this seems like a good idea. I've done a bit of prep work this time, so hopefully I won't spad and, ruin all that, but my objective, get all these vans into a nice big train, take them up to Knapford, so that Gordon can go and deliver a flying kipper. So, this is going to get a bit interesting, because I need to remember how all the points work in this yard. I think it's mostly double slips. So, we're going to quickly check the map. So the plan is to run all the way up to Sportsfield Halt, run around the train, set back into Knapford Yard, which I can't do. Interesting. That seems... okay. Well, we're going to set back into the through road. And then Gordon is going to take the train. Because we don't have Henry yet. I still think Henry is going to be the first sort of DLC character. Because it seems the easiest one. You've got everything else you need, apart from Henry. I am also going to marshal this with a brake van at each end of the train. Just because I don't want to have to shunt them. So, let's hope this goes reasonably well. I've used all diesel-based train sets. Obviously, I've gone around and removed all the extra diesels. Because, yeah... I mean, I have been using a pair of them, basically as an improvised Class 13, for doing just sort of casual work at the quarry. But that's mostly because I'm boring like that. However, you have to use them facing in the same direction. You can't make them into a sort of fake Class 58. Because, well, the very easy option of... because they run in opposite directions? And they, as far as I can tell, they don't seem to like, consistently at least, running... cab to cab, or nose to nose. And that may change. Or it may be that I was just being dumb. You know, these things are all possible. Just like that, where I race at the points. There we go. Oh, I'm in the wrong camera. So, I'm going to try and marshal the train up. I thought, you know what, let's just use diesel for this job. There's not a direct link between Knapford and Knapford Harbour. Therefore, if I'm going to assemble a fish train, I am better suited to use diesel, just for the fact that he's got the sort of raw power to just drag things around. And a pair of diesels is great. The only issue I'd had was, I think I took a 20 wagon train down from the quarry. That didn't go well. I think I got up to about 60 miles an hour, then flew off the hill just above Farquhar Station. Good times. Where's the point? Oh, I'm parked on the point. How did I miss that? Okay, well, so first set path, because I need to do a propelling move. I don't know where the limit of shunt is. Well, I've got the board. There's gonna be a lot of setting back required, so I'm going to use the trailing camera to just make sure I've cleared the section. As long as I don't pass the next signal, all should be well. There we go, signal is reset. Now I need to go back until I've passed this one. Otherwise I have not left the section, and I think the game will get upset about that. Ooh, signal post. Right, now I need to set back onto these wagons. And I need to set a path. Right. Await this. Oh, yeah. Do I need to summon the signalman? I think I do. Denied. Wait for the signal to change. Alright. Well, we shall play the waiting game. So it can't be that I'm too close to the signal, because, you know, there's a good engine length there. It's going to be one of those times where I just sit here for, like, a while. Nice. Well, I think... Did I have these balls? I think the last time I streamed I hadn't got these done. However, since I think, last streamed, I have now got several of these little vans. They ran very nicely today and yesterday. And I think Saturday. Can I go, please? Denied. Wait for signal to change. Okay. I'm going in the right direction. Can I change the points? Is that a thing I'm allowed to do? Going that way, going that way, going that way. Okay, if I contact the signaller now... No. Well, this might be very boring for a while. We have an amazing. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to here, facing the right way, as I have a stop as indicated. However, I didn't have a path, so let's try this again. Let's try there. There we go, right. For whatever reason, it didn't want to do that before. Now, we are going to not really stop there, but we'll be inside the yard then, so we'll be fine. I was hoping this would go a little slicker than this, but hey, it'll be fine, hopefully. So, we are inside the signal. We're going to come to a stand. Then we're going to back up some more. Damn, that looks violent. The wagons seem to naturally want to space out when you leave them unattended. So we're going to back down, pick up this, then we're going to have to go forwards and pick up the next two. Then we need to set back again for a brake van. And then I've got to hope that we've got enough space at Sportsfield Halt to take all these wagons. So that'll be fun. Right, set path. I want to go to here. I don't actually know if I need to go that far, but, you know, let's find out. Well, we got the signal. Having spent much of my afternoon doing this with O-gauge trains, it's quite pleasant to be, you know, having the sounds. Even if it is a rather lethargic horn. Ah, it's doing that thing where it doesn't quite know where the end of the train is. so I am clear of the signal. 30 yards to go. Oh, it's going to get messy when I go back for that breakdown. I maybe shouldn't have gone for this bigger train, but I thought Gordon would manage. So we'll step back a little bit just to reset the direction. Set path. I want to go to there. And I really should have left a brake van on the train when I started. So start nice and gently. Whole train is moving. Now we can accelerate. Hooray! Ah, according to this little, like, mini hearts thing, what are they actually called? Love hearts, okay. I have a Dream Girl one. Imagine that. Couldn't be me. Oh, I'm going too fast. Well, this is going to be a delicate maneuver. Now, I am still inside the signal area, so I'm... If I move now, do I get in trouble? No. Okay. Yeah, I definitely should have brought another breakdown. Now, I can't go further than that signal without getting the path set. So, let's set the path to... Well, my train is now twice as long. There? Maybe that'll be fine. Oh, struggling up the bank. I don't think this is going to fit in Sportsfield Halt. I think I may have been ambitious. In which case, this will become slightly more of a faff, but hey, that's what you're here for. I assume. If you're here. Maybe no one's here. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Stop as indicated, just before the signal. Okay. I'm actually quite clear of the signal, so set the path back. I want to go down to the brake vans. Is that the signal pulled off? It is. Just wiggle the train back together. Well, that's a horrible view. Now the question is, are the points going to be set? Yes. Good. So this is not a move I probably should have done. This is almost certainly too ambitious. However, as long as it goes okay, the ending should be funny, if nothing else. Just gonna feather the brakes a little. I maybe should have used more colours of vans, but it would have just been a block of 6 of one type, and then another 6 of another type. Oh, there we go, that's the back camp, right. I'm 185 yards from my target, I don't think so. Now, as I've seen from, you know, shunting happening in the real life, when you have this much slop in the train, stopping is an interesting thing to do. Because some of your train stops. And some of it's still going. Obviously if you've got, you know, vacuum brakes throughout, it's different, but... I've just thought I didn't uncouple that of a van, did I? feel like this must be done by radio. Like, I'm accelerating, and I'm not sure if the train is going to move or not. There we go. Right. I probably should have left it in neutral, but hey, I'm sure it'll be fine. I am surprisingly inside the station, the yard limit. However, the next bit's going to get messy. How messy? We'll find out. I've eaten most of my goodie bag. It was a good day. Well, I had a little bit of space, but not very much. Probably should have positioned it so that other brake van was facing the other way round. Maybe I'll put it on a turntable. Maybe I'll not actually do that. Maybe the chat will persuade me to do that. You've got maybe 10 minutes, chat, to persuade me to put this van on a turntable before I leave. Because it will briefly be the back of the train. So, power! About 350 horsepower, I think? I'm not sure. But it's not like a car having 350 horsepower. It's a slightly larger type of horse. Ooh, actually, I could just pull forwards into this loop, run round there, and that might do it. So if I pull up to here... It's 1.2 miles away. Ugh, this might take a minute. So that's a distance signal, I think. Yep. Let's try the cab view. I'll get the right button. It's not very helpful. So I've got a 15-mile-an-hour limit coming up. Do you think I'll be able to slow down in time? Yeah. So for the exciting people amongst you, I have purchased, because they were on sale, a Dapol Unicorn, the Guinness Loco, with the intention of making them into diesel. So they will have the red and white bits painted out, the rods paint. I might leave the rods red, they might go silver. I'm a bit torn on that one so far. And I've got a face. The question is, for the face, do I take off the radiator grille and replace the face with that, or do I stick the face on the radiator grille? Because I've seen models with like this, and they kind of look a bit better, but I'm hesitant in doing too much butchery because I can't remember how attached the rad grille is. I think it's fairly removable. Ooh, 15-mile-an-hour limit. Let's ease off for this section. The Harbour Junction. Now, I was tempted to pick up the vans from over there, but I had to have got them there first, which means I'd have had to walk there, because there's not a point of view drop on that side of the harbour. Only this side. Also, I'm not brilliantly happy with how my van turned out. It looks very teak rather than more orange like this one is. But painting orange with the paints I've got at least is kind of suffering. It's not terrible, it's just a bit odd. I need to get a nice picture of the setup on my little depot at some point, but I need to repaint my Percy first. And well, not repaint. Finish paint. Continue painting. Boring person time. Not that, like, you know, I've not got a few minutes to kill while I drive up this hill. All of my... well, pretty much all my models I've done for the club are only painted a particular livery on one side, because the club is an end-to-end layout, therefore you only ever see one side of the engine. And I was going to do some alternative liveries. For example, my Donald and Douglas have British Rail liveries on one side and North Western Railway on the other. However, with their new tenders, I'm probably going to make them in North Western livery on one side and the more sort of boring book livery on the other. because my James has NWR on the tender, and then 5 on the cab side, which I thought looked quite good. And I've seen a similar one on Twitter recently for Percy, and I went, ooh, that looks quite good. So my plan is to repaint, well, is to paint the other side of my Percy. So, I'm just being distracted. There is a magpie building a quite sizable nest on a windowsill on the building opposite. If they open their window, there's going to be a very, very disappointed magpie. Oh, 15 mile an hour board coming up. I should have probably honked for that crossing. So because there's no direct line from the harbour to the main line, I feel like that would have to be added in if there was a properly done kipper. Hello, Lord Crispo. So my plan is to just pull up here, run around the train, and job done. Drive it back up to Knapford, where Gordon can take the train down to Vickerstown. So I'm going quite a long way. I think I will stop and drop the back off the train once I've cleared this junction. However, I would be parked across the crossing, and I need to stop. And I need to stop. Fellas, I'm not feeling too good about this, guys. I've only got 100 yards, guys. Will I spad here? If I spad here, I'm going to set the train up in Knapford Yard. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Spad. Yeah. Well, so we're going to try that again. Should have done replay the service. Never mind. Right, so we were at Sportsfield Halt. Custom weather. Set it to the approximate current date and midnight. There we go. Right. So, this is going to get a little messy, but it'll be fine, hopefully. So, we're going to start off with a diesel. Yeah, there's not. You know what? We'll mix it up. A five van. You know, I could probably do 5 vans instead. So we're gonna go spawn a train. Goodbye, Percy. It's gonna get a little repetitive, but I'm sure you will understand. That's 2. Now the other thing I need to watch out for is... Ooh, back. Spawn last train. Is I'm going to have to drive through some signals while I do this. And I don't know how it's going to like that. I think it will not like that. So, now I am past a signal there, which is going to get interesting. And I need to stick a brake van on the other end of the train. Now, because I'm an exciting person, I'm going to pretend that I didn't mess up just then. And have diesel facing the correct way. I can have the choice of 5 brake vans. Why 5? Why only 3, 4, or 5? I've just realised as well, it's even worse than that. Because what am I going to do? I need diesel to be the other way out. Okay. This is Is this like Truck Simulator where you just generally go from point A to point B? Pretty much. I'm quite enjoying it myself. Can we put diesel down somewhere, please, game? Okay, that was a while. So we're gonna go pick up all those vans. Just gonna take a hot second. Set path. I want to go to there. Actually, no. Let's make the point there, just in case, just beyond the signal. Let's put the lights on, and then we'll go and carefully scoop up all this train. Now, if I don't go that far, that's fine. I just need to collect everything again because there's not an option to, you know, restore last session. Because it says replay, but replay is not... Oh, are you doing this to me, game? Alright. So, sometimes they just couple, and other times the trains reject one another, and I need to get very slightly closer. This would make an excellent multiplayer game, I think. Maybe not all of the time. Okay. So I'm just going to gently drive up here. I've seen people playing Void Train. I don't kind of get the train aspect of it very much from the playthroughs I've seen. They don't seem to kind of vibe the train element of it. It's kind of like how I try not to think about the train sections of Metro Exodus. The train is too big and rigid. Oh, this is gonna get a bit messy. I've got a red signal. Now I don't know if, because I already occupy that section, if I'm allowed to proceed. Where is the train actively? It's actively parked across the section, so the signal would be red. But will I spad as a result of the signal already being in section? Also, I don't think it approved my path that I set up, so I'm not... I don't know. Have I got it? I feel like I got it. Let's try and drift back slightly. Oh, no, I can't go too far. I've got a signal. Ooh, yeah, that was a bit close. Is this all one train? It says it is. Excellent. It didn't set my path, or it voided it. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna have to go and get Gordon back, aren't I? Oh well, right. Go over here. So, Dezel. Now, stopping this set is going to be difficult. But it is slightly shorter than the previous one. Who is hot air ballooning at midnight? That just seems difficult. Well, I guess I can open the taps a bit and do an exciting 20 miles per hour. It does mildly bother me that the headlights are not directional, because I'm currently just kind of blinding the guard, if there is one in the front of the train. Signal is good. Let's keep going. So yeah, I've done basically everything else in this game. I'm just kind of enjoying it as something to do. I don't intend to do more than this one sort of mission type thing, but we'll see. I probably should get some work done, but I'm really kind of tired because I stood up for 3 days and talked to people. That's a lot for me. Right, so through the Harbour Junction, or Harbour Junction number 1 at least, because obviously there's the second Harbour Junction depending on which harbour you want to go to. Well, I'm doing 20. Now, I should maybe test my brakes and see what my stopping distance is, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say bad. Yeah, that's pretty dire. Okay. I'm going over there. All members of the public, so I also spent a lot of yesterday evening trying to... I spent 5 or 6 hours yesterday fixing a layout because the power had died in a weird way. Like, it wasn't fully not working, it was just not working enough that it was really inconvenient because it would keep tripping out. And it took ages to... I had to basically make a wiring diagram to diagnose what was even wrong. So that was fun. I mean, it actually kind of was fun, but in like, that's not what I wanted to be doing on a Sunday evening. There's Harbour Junction number 2. That's nice. I'm looking forward to when this game gets a bit more populated, because at the moment you see other trains sometimes, but not very often, and if you're in this mode, then, you know, not at all. Yeah. It's not like about, you know, I enjoy doing it, otherwise I wouldn't go and volunteer for 3 days to do it, but it's a lot. And if I'd known we were definitely going to be open the Monday, I would have not gone the Saturday or not gone the Sunday to give myself a bit of a break. Because I'm exciting like that, and I'm still recovering from surgery, as my body likes to remind me occasionally. That's a green signal. I'm going to, however, keep the speed just 20 miles an hour or less. There's the bus garage. It's quite a big building for one bus to be kept in it. There's the allotments. It'd be kind of neat if the crops in them changed based on the season. Maybe they do. Maybe I've just not noticed. We are crossing the harbour line again. There we go. We started over there. Honest. Nothing happened. I had 2 thoracic surgeries to remove the broken bits of my ribcage. And I may need a 3rd depending on how well they're settling, because the plates are... Well, one plate the screw had pulled out, and it may have stabilised on its own in the meantime, but I'm not sure. On the other side, the plate was helped to come loose, and I don't know how that is, but I get a scan this Friday, so we'll see how that goes. And then I've got a show at the weekend, so I am all kinds of busy. Oh, that's a red signal that went green as I approached. Okay. Yeah, it's not so. I'd say I got the last surgery was done in December, so I should be pretty good by now. It's just the plate unsettling is hindered things, because I was doing pretty good, and then I was out of action for basically 10 days because I couldn't sleep. And then it's been better since, but it's a bit... Like, stuff I want to do is fine. Stuff I don't want to do, I have used all my energy on stuff I wanted to do. So, yeah, I need to get some work done this week, because I've got the show coming up. I've got various social things I'm looking forward to. I've got some big train work I'm looking forward to as well. I might be seeing some family, that'll be nice. I've not been looking at signals, so I'm hoping that's all good. I'm generally just trying to not be too busy. Now the question is, for the chat, do you want me to drive Gordon down from Tidmouth Sheds to Knapford for this move? Or should I have Gordon waiting nearby, ready to jump on? Because obviously I had Gordon set up earlier, he was in the station ready, however, the signal past at danger has reset all of that progress. And I've got to stop this train in 100 yards. So let's slow down. Yeah, because it's weird that there's not an option to go from the harbour to the yard. So I'd have to set back on the main line to do that particular move. I'd say I will need a third surgery at some point, as one of the screws from the first surgery came out and they've not been able to track it down. Which sounds kind of bad, but it was just because of where it is, it moves. So I'm going to take Diesel up to Tidmouth Shed. Because I'm an exciting person. Leave my train there. That's not the right way to go. There we go. Ah, speed. I've definitely had a screw loose for a while. I think it was October. So yeah, it's just kind of vibing down in my abdomen. Right, I need to... Well, I'm going to be dropped into cab view forcibly, so yeah, I can't see anything. I can see a green signal. Yeah, I can see a green signal, that'll do, right. The awkward thing with this is you can't see in the tunnel unless you're in the cab. I'm going a little fast, but hey, it'll be fine. Yeah, so Tidmouth's kind of not really a thing in the game for the most part. Like, I don't actually know what trains stop here. Everything seems to just stop at Knapford and then terminate. Which basically means that almost every shunt move goes through this station. I have to go signal. There's a load of buses there. So, gonna go through here, past the little Tidmouth Yard, at the station. Why am I going all the way over here? Yeah, I'm guessing this is the line through the for the yard rather than for the main line that continues going on. Oh, that's a horrible view. Right. I got the green. Good. It's not. Let's mess up again. What you've missed is definitely nothing exciting happening. I definitely didn't spad a nearly 30 wagon train because I just couldn't slow down in time. That didn't happen. And I'm currently just running Diesel back up to the shed where I definitely had Gordon waiting and I definitely didn't have to start again. As you can see, Gordon is sitting in the shed. He's just very well hidden right now. As are all the other engines. So just going to trundle back to here. Do I have to manually turn the table? Has it lost the route when I got too close? Oh, it has. Okay. Well, it got me to... Oh. Okay. Now, as you can see, Gordon is right here. Yep. Been here the whole time. Yep, Gordon. And you know what? As I'm lined up, I'm just going to put Diesel onto the road next to him. You know, they can have a nice chat briefly while Gordon's crew gets ready for the flying kipper. As Henry is unavailable due to not being in the game yet. There we go. Now I can climb up into Gordon, and I want to take Gordon all the way down to... how am I gonna do this? I need to go to what's there. But I need to add the go via, because I want to make sure I'm actually going to clear the not a valid location? What do you mean it's not a valid location? Okay, I think that got it. There we go. The turntable will hopefully move shortly. Please. Please, turntable. I don't want to have to get out again. Gordon's really hard to get into. You already make me do this? Alright. Grumble. I can't just jump out. There is no option. How do I... There we go. Manually driving. Ooh, yeah. And then I will presumably have to drive off the turntable again after having manually changed it. You're really doing this to me, aren't you, game? Why can't I stand in the turntable? Right. No. What? No. No. Okay. Really? Is that even a turntable road? Oh. Okay, we have a track. Just gonna elegantly fall into the cab. It's not really giving me a route, so I'm just gonna hope the best. I've not got any signals either. Maybe I need to get closer. Now, does this gantry mean anything? Yes. Or is it that disc on the ground next to it? Or is that the next track over? I think that's the gantry that I need to pay attention to. Denied. Okay, that means I've not done something right. What do you think of the show of your trucks? Well, I gave it a like, so I thought it was pretty good. That is much more your thing than me for like doing those kind of videos. I just go with the I videoed this thing. There we go, done. Can I go now, please, game? Okay, I am still denied waiting for a signal, so that's fun. I've got a green aspect there. That might be what's making it a problem. So let's try a new one. Set path. That signal is still green. That really shouldn't be. How about if we go to this platform? Will that do it? I think I broke it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go remove train. I will plop down onto the tracks. The game is just bullying me at this point, so we're going to fast travel to Knapford. The signal is still green there, so it hasn't registered that my train has left because the train is physically still there, and that snarled it all up. So because I don't want to have to mess about too much, we're going to do a spawn last. Going to go over here, and we're just going to put Gordon on the train. Because as much as I don't want to do that, that's the option. Now I'm starting under a signal, and I don't like that, but the game can only spad me so many times. So I am in the sort of neutral zone. Will I instantly fail and explode? Am I allowed to move, please? There we go. They're making distressing noises, printers. Don't think I can't hear that. Gently backwards. Do I have to train them? Yep, okay. Set path. We're going to go all the way to Vickerstown, except we're not just going to go all the way to Vickerstown, we're going to go all the way to Vickerstown. We have the signal. Will Gordon manage the flying kipper in Henry's absence? Here's hoping. This is the main bit that I was actually intending to do, and it took me 50 minutes to get here. Oh, okay. That's taken a minute. I was like, oh, this won't take long. So we're still in the platform. Just about. No, okay, we're now clear of the platform. So we can do a nice 15 miles an hour until we leave the speed restriction area. Oh, I can do 25. That signal is green, I hope. Yep. I should have greens the whole way. It would be kind of nice to have dynamic traffic. stuff like, you know, your train has to pull over to let a faster train go and that kind of thing, but obviously that's not going to happen in this mode. I don't think it really happened in the other modes. You have things where it's like you need to get to a station in time to meet with another train, but it's not exactly Gordon, like, snarling up behind Percy as Percy's being far too slow on the line or something. Mainly because Percy doesn't really leave the quarry area and the Farquhar branch. So we can do 50. I don't think I want to, honestly. I think 40 feels too fast with this train. However, got the green signal. I think we've got greens basically the whole way. Now we're up to 50. Excellent. We're getting a tunnel shortly. That's a green. There's greens. I think we're basically greens the whole way at this point. Okay, those aren't green yet. There we go. Now, I think for a bit of this journey, I'm going to press 0 and go to the Gordon view. I feel like the coupling shouldn't be flopping about that much. Also, the headlamps look a little distressed. Crunch. Oh man, that picks that up really badly. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and eat this crunchy quietly. I made poor decisions. The microphone's good, so there's that, you know, it's got that going for it. Oh, I've slowed down a lot. Oops. Pick that back up. Now the whistle board normally implies a crossing or something similar. We've got the signal again. This is at Crosby? Yeah. So we're going through on the main. And hopefully there will not be another train in the way that I will violently hurl myself into. As I think having Gordon sent away to get rebuilt, although it may be amusing, would be, you know, what would he come back as? An A4? A Hush Hush? I think Gordon's a Hush Hush, might be funny. Yeah, I've kind of run out of stuff to say at this point in the proceedings. Other than I've got loads of work I should probably get done. I've got loads of models I want to build. I've still got a load of models on my desk I want to build. I've got 2 more of the van kits to go. One of them is going to be... I'm not sure what number it currently carries. The one that normally lives at Rothley, one of the store's vans there. I've got another one with a face on it, but only on one end this time, having accidentally made the first 2 with spaces for faces at both ends. And I've also got one that is just a body that I have as basically a grounded van. Because I forgot to put any of the tabs in to apply the running gear. which is an unusual oversight for me, given that I make this, you know, I do this for my job. How am I this bad at it? Yeah, that's, you know, that's a whole fun thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, hopefully at some point this month I should be getting to box my Black 5, so I can take that for a run. It might be one of the pieces of post I apparently missed Saturday, because post happened, or didn't. Because there wasn't post Friday, but there was post Saturday. Yeah. You know, I think potentially the next time I head down to the railway, because I've got a few things coming up the next few weekends, so I don't know what it's actually going to be. I'm tempted to take all my brake vans. I want to take all my brake vans. I think I counted this before in a stream. However, as this is not the most, you know, high-octane activity, as I'm barely doing 50 miles an hour of a train of vans. Is this Gordon's Hill coming up? I feel like that's Gordon's Hill coming up. I look forward to going down those lines in future. Brain. I accounted for them. So, in view, I have 3 20-ton Stanya brake vans, one of which fitted out as a ore translator. I have... how many is there? 1, 2... I have 7? 8 sharp brake vans that I can see. I have an Oyster. I've got 3 Southern Railway pillbox vans. 3 standard 20-ton British Rail brake vans. I've got a couple of freelance designs. I've got a Southern Railways dance hall van. Which is the one I'm forgetting? I've got the Cockle as well. The Northeastern plough van. What else was there? I'm trying to remember. That sounds like I'm going, there's nothing. It's like, no, that's a lot of brake vans. Sick. I'm going with the ones I can physically see. I've got shelves set up to my left. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22? Maybe 23 if we count one that's kind of in pieces still. Yeah, I'm going to go with 23 brake vans. And I'm thinking I might take those down to run as a brake van train. Because I can. Also, only 9 miles to go. 12 miles to go. But it's going to take longer because that's 12 crow miles, not accounting for that I've got to go around this mountain range. I'm doing 63. That doesn't feel like... okay, well, the vans are dealing with it fine. Maybe they've got nice roller bearings like the Blue Spot vans. Let's go back. Let's think. Chat, do you prefer the Gordon view or do you prefer the Gordon shoulder view? I can't remember which branch that is. I think that's Edward's branch line, down to Brendam. Forget what that is, I forget what that is, and I forget what that is. This one is the Peel Godred line. You're just trying to remember what something you're going... I should be remembering something. If I count the 2 toads I've got so far, that puts me up to 25. I want to build a new toad sometime. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm one of these terrible people that's got far too much that they're trying to do but does nothing. If we count brake coaches, the number gets messy. If we count full brakes, the number gets messy. Yeah. So I've got, for my purposes at least, 4 brake vans that are specifically Island Sodor oriented, in that 2 of them have Northwestern on. One of them is a Farquhar Quarry branded one, and I have the thankyou one that's based on the one from this game, although I've sign written it in the sort of later BR. It just got Northwestern at the beginning of the number rather than it being a having the big letters on the side. I could change that, it wouldn't be difficult, but again, it was the I'm trying to make a little set as if it's from this game because hey, you know, it seems quite popular. The 3rd van on my build pile is going to be in that sort of darker green livery, but it's going to be in the MOD colours rather than, or specifically in an MOD colour scheme so I can run over my wall wells. I always feel like I'm going too fast through here, but I'm sure it's fine. Kildane. There we go. Well, I'm going to go back to the Gordon view because I get hit by less signals. Oh, that's the other one. I want to... Internal... Gordon's point of view. There we go. Well, this is nice. Well, I should be doing 50 miles an hour. My fish need to get somewhere productive before they get warm. Being the ostensive reason. So it's taken us... I'm going to say us in the sort of more sort of me sense at least. 12 minutes or so to get halfway down the line. That's not bad. In theory, 12 minutes at 60 miles an hour is about 5 miles. I don't remember if there's sheep. I know there's cows and horses in the game. I don't remember if there's sheep. I know there's pigs. Are there sheep? Have I just not been paying attention? Are those sheep? No. They're just cows that hadn't rendered in yet. Good times. I could probably at some point do a nice quiet video of this, of me just driving down the line without any of my voiceover and just the sounds of the engine and the whistles and stuff. That might be a pleasant thing to do for somebody. That's what I was going to say. Getting back to the other eventual point I was mumbling towards was the alternative is I kind of want to take my 40-ton hoppers out. Probably the primarily vacuum-fitted ones with any of the blow-through ones. So that'd be the later sea cows. I couldn't bring the whales, but that's fine. Most of them are in Dutch livery, along with a few of my dogfish. The other option is I could take some of the tanks out. Now I've got the SO tanks, I've got the TEAs in general, I've got a sort of mixed small tank train, got some chemical tanks now. It's a collection that is slowly accumulating to the point where it's going to get really inconvenient to store them at some point. As I would quite like to move in about, you know, the next year or so, just because, you ever walk through an area near where you live and just be like, yeah, I want to move. No, it's the, you know, I stayed in this area for like doctor's stuff, and I've not seen any of those doctors in literally years now, so it's like, well, that's not gone anywhere. You know, the doctor I do have to go and see is not local. But as they're the specialist, you go to the specialist, you know, that's kind of how that works. But no, it'd be nice to move nearer family and stuff again, rather than being just kind of off in the boonies. Although, to be fair, being off in the boonies would be preferable to being in a city, which is what I'm currently doing. I'm phrasing things very badly. It's going well. I should have maybe picked a shorter run for this, like, I don't know, from, like, Kelsford Road or something. Is Kelsford Road? Have I forgotten where I am? That's Crovan's Gate. Maybe I should have started Crovan's Gate. But yeah, no, show coming this weekend, so I need to get as much printing done as I can, get kits made up, ready to go, so if someone goes, "Oh, do you have this?" that's a popular thing, I can go, "Yes," and then, you know, they'll pay me, hopefully. I've got far too much I should be doing, far too much I want to be doing, and until my ribs are properly settled, I don't really have the energy, which is annoying. Because I had it. January was really good, February was pretty good too, and then March was kind of iffy, and then April's alright, you know. I've got enough energy to do stuff I want to, I just need to balance things. So streaming like this is actually kind of helpful because it gives me the amount of I have achieved something productive without being a lot of energy and being kind of mindless. Because doing my actual job, you know, that thing I should be doing right now, takes quite a lot of brain, and I can't always do that. And it's not like I'm physically tired, it's the with the plate in my right hand side being a bit sketchy, if I've been standing up for ages, it doesn't enjoy that. And it's reminding me this every few minutes whenever I move slightly wrong, and it goes, haha, twinge. And it's kind of like if you've ever had a doorbell that sounds kind of like advert music. Because I forget what it was. I know, get out block, all that stuff. But there was for a while an advert that would keep coming up on my YouTube if I was listening to music. And it was a short advert, but it sounded like my doorbell. So every time I heard it, I was like, was that the advert? Or was that actually my front door? And I need to go and get it. And, like, go and see if anyone's there. So I got a lot of exercise doing that. I also now have a different front door, because my landlord was like, hey, you're getting a new front door. And I'm like, why? And she hasn't told me yet, but I've got a new front door, and you can't see through it. So it used to be I could stand at the top of the stairs and see if there was actually anyone on the step. Now I've got to go all the way downstairs to the door to check. And that's effort. Oh, I'm onto the single line, so we've gone past the junction to Ballyhoo while I wasn't paying attention. Have I been through Crovan's Gate? Or am I just not paying attention? No, it is Kelsford Road, it narrows, and then it widens again at Crovan's Gate. That's weird. I don't remember it. I don't know. I say, well, I don't. I've not really watched the show at all, so I know stuff because I have read into it or have seen videos made by other people talking about stuff. It is all second-hand information to me. Yeah, brain. But no, I've got a stack of walrus, I've got some sea cows, I've got some ICI hoppers, I might have a couple of fridge vans, I might make some mineral wagons, I might make some of my little Thomas related kits up, or the equivalents, because they're fairly easy to do. It's a nice simple, you know, person who has grandchild and has, you know, stick something with a face on it, they'll appreciate it, sort of thing. The only thing is I can't sell the faces. That's not a thing that is in the sort of politely agreed upon licensing for the 3D models. I mean, they technically, I don't know what the actual legalities or anything behind it are, but I don't sell the faces. I have on an occasion had someone go, oh hey, could you print me one? But that's different to me just making copies of stuff I've already got for other people. Again, I'm not as familiar with the grey areas. I'm not particularly, this is why I don't sell the files myself, because once the file is out there, you don't have any control of it. I say it like it's a bad thing. That's the same with anything on the internet. Once you've posted it, it's there. It exists. Well done. So all my drawings, I will sell the 3D components. I will not sell the STL file. Because, yeah, that kind of thing you can sell once. That's it. Still does remind me, I've got some project work I was doing for somebody else, and I need to finish that because that is one where I would be potentially making the components under an amount of license, but I need to check if I can actually get them to print nicely first. And the first set I did didn't print nicely, so I need to try again until it works. Which isn't that big a job. I literally just need to set the file up again with the slight modifications the guy's done. They were designed to be resin printed. Printing on FDM is different, and if there's any like artifacts and stuff, that can cause issues. So it's not a massive job, and when it's done, it's gonna be such a pretty locomotive. I just need to get on with it. But I want to do a good job, and I've not really done anything more than like editing work recently. Like admittedly, I drew a new box van, but it was me taking an existing box van and modifying it slightly. It wasn't a from the ground up fresh build for a customer. Because as like I said earlier, I messed up on the first no printer because I forgot to include all the stuff to attach the wheels to. Or at least all the alignment parts for that. So I've not been doing great work recently, and I'm aware of this, so I don't want to be doing customer work right now. The best example I can think of is I've got a customer in Australia, lovely guy, but if I mess anything up, I've got to send new parts to Australia. And that takes a while, and it's expensive. So if I send him a kit, I want it to be good, first time, no spare parts needed, done, dusted, walk away. Yeah. Oh, no, I've got my drawing list keeps getting bigger, and honestly it gets a bit stressful because I'll see the list occasionally and go, oh, I meant to be doing all of that. I'm not saying that this drive is a little boring, but I'm just kind of a little zoned out here. Let's try some more of the sort of dynamic view of the train. There we go. Can I look out the other side? There we go. Right. That's a pretty nice view of the, Gordon thundering away at the front and just the brake van just kind of quietly drifting on the back. It'd be kind of nice if they could add an inside lamp for nighttime running for the guard. Because I feel like he's sitting quite quietly in there. Also, ooh, look how rough the vans are on that track. They're just flopping around. Got the signal, good. Now I think we're coming up to Henry's Tunnel. Yep, got the signal. That is a really short distance between a distant and a home. Like that's just more than the train length. I don't think I could stop in that distance if I wanted to. Right, into the tunnel we go. We're not going through the Henry side. He should be bricked up over there. Maybe that's what we'll get. Brain. No, one of the things I really want to get done, and it's sitting on a shelf mocking me, is I need to redraw my Cowan Sheldon crane. Now, I've drawn a load of it. The problem is it needs to be good, because the price I have to charge because of how much work it is means it has to be good, because otherwise, if you've paid, I don't know, ballpark it, 100 quid for a model, you want it to be nice. You don't want to be like, oh, I paid 100 quid for this. It's alright. But given it's 4 wagons and then the crane on top, that's a lot of bits, and it's a lot of jiggling numbers about a bit to make things work properly, and making sure everything's all set up nicely, making sure all the render works and everything's good. And until then, I've also got the last of the batch I built, because I've already got a diesel train version somewhere. I think someone borrowed it. I should get it back. And I've got a steam crane version now. And the steam crane version is being painted in the lined out red, very, very slowly. I've got Donald and Douglas's new tenders to build. I have a tender for Edward that I now don't really need, because instead of making an Edward, I managed to buy a very suitable second-hand donor and make an Edward. So I have a spare tender, and I'm not entirely sure what to do, because in theory I could give it to Gordon, if I can work out how to get Gordon's DCC chip to not be required. Because Gordon, as I am... there you go. He has the Fowler tender, or at least the Fowler style tender. As do most of the Northwestern Railway engines. And... words. He's got the Fowler style tender, not the LNER one. So if I have a Fowler style tender for him, that might look quite nice. I can use the same. It's the same one I've got for my James, and the new ones for Donald. Oh no, the ones for Donald Douglas are actually closer to the original, because the current Donald and Douglas have a pair of Great Central tenders, or possibly rod tenders. Oh, I'm not meant to be going this quick through here. That's a fairly sharp corner coming up. This is gonna hamper my plans slightly, so I need to slow down so I don't come off the rails. Oh, you saw that, didn't you? I got that on video. Okay. Ooh, lads. Okay. Right, we're in the clear. Let's go. I've got 500 yards to go. Will we make it? I'm gonna mess the camera up. Oh. There was an invisible wall there last time I tried that. Interesting. Oh, is it just gonna drive into the void? Oh. Last time I tried that, it was a wall, and I just bounced into the abyss. Oh well. I hope that was a relatively fun, you know, little bit at the end there where Gordon nearly fell over. So, yeah, I hope you've all had a lovely Easter weekend, and, you know, have a nice day. I may do another stream in the week. I'll see how I feel. But I've kind of run out of stuff to do. You know, I've done all the missions other than the drive a passenger service. Drive another passenger service. Drive a third passenger service. They get a bit stale. Yep. Have a nice